Yonapod Kivanov. The people I just met with, they don't know where they're going to be going on Friday. And whatever policy may or may not exist, no one can be happy with that result. These are women and children, their families. They deserve to be treated with dignity and with respect. And one thing, maybe I should start here by saying one thing that has been abundantly clear to me since the day I arrived in Hungary is that the Hungarian people are incredibly generous. Incredibly generous. I mean, I remember my very first trip as U.S. ambassador going to Zahom and standing with the mayor of this small town and meeting the people who lived in this small town and hearing them recount how they gathered together and stood up and collected their resources so that they could respond to this unforeseen and tragic humanitarian catastrophe of these refugees flowing across the border, people that they didn't know, they had never met, but that they felt as Hungarians, as human beings, was so important for them to stand up and support. I saw it when I traveled to see the incredible work of the Hungarian Interchurch Aid with Anikó Levi, the extraordinary Anikó Levi, and the work that they were doing in shelters and around this country to service those who are most vulnerable. I saw it when I went to other refugee shelters on the eastern flank in Hungary. This is an extraordinarily generous country filled with extraordinarily generous people. And I would note that we're all confronting a war in Ukraine that is having catastrophic consequences, and it requires generosity. The United States and the American people are also generous. We continue to be the largest provider of humanitarian assistance since the war in Ukraine broke out for individuals in Ukraine and those who are fleeing Ukraine to seek shelter and to seek relief from the war. We continue to be the UN High Commissioner for Refugees' largest donor, including contributing on an annual basis, but contributing over $20 million to the refugee response program in Hungary. And so we obviously have an interest, as the Hungarian people have an interest, in ensuring that those who are fleeing from Putin's brutal full-scale invasion of Ukraine are treated with dignity, with respect, and with predictability. And I thought it was important for the United States and for me as the United States ambassador to take a moment to spend some time with the families that I saw on the news last week who seemingly and inexplicably have no idea where they would be sleeping tonight and have no idea where they will be going on Friday. And I'm confident, given the generosity of the Hungarian people, that this situation will be addressed and will be addressed in a humane manner, and I look forward to it being so. And with that, I'd be happy to take a few of your questions.
444.
Viktor Orbán's regularly is saying that if the US would like to, it could bring peace by tomorrow. What do you think about this?
Peace could absolutely happen by tomorrow, and that's if Vladimir Putin stopped his war in Ukraine. This is a war of choice by Vladimir Putin. It's important that all of our allies are clear as to how this war can end, and it can in fact end today. And it's a decision that Putin can make, and I hope that he will.
Take a question from here, Tebe.
Thank you. What do you think about the Hungarian Prime Minister's peace mission?
Well, if what you're referring to is the Prime Minister's trip to Moscow in the days before the NATO-Washington summit, I thought it was performative. I'm not sure if anyone is following the performance. And I think that until Prime Minister Orbán or any leader is unequivocally clear as to who bears responsibility for the war in Ukraine and how the war in Ukraine can end, and can in fact end today if Vladimir Putin decided to stop it, then they are not a messenger of peace, but a messenger of appeasement.
Take a question from Gulya Shagu Media.
Ambassador, how would you comment on the recent news that the mother of a person who was arrested in the US for smuggling radio techniques into Russia this person's mother was a head of a Hungarian government agency. How would you comment on that?
You know, I'm not going to comment on the specific question. Obviously, the United States, there has been an indictment and someone has been detained, arrested in the United States on allegations of violating U.S. export control law with respect to providing or allegedly providing equipment to the Russian Federation. That's a serious issue. But the specifics of the individual and of the case, I would need to refer you to the Department of Justice.
Thank you.
Telex.
Yeah, a general question about the national security piece. Interested by this threatening NATO because of Hungarian-Russian ties.
Well, Hungary is an ally. Hungary is a member of NATO, and it's important that we're united in the face of some serious issues that we as an alliance are confronting and that the world is confronting with respect to Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Predictability is important and transparency is important, and that's something that we look forward to working on with the government of Hungary.
Magyar Hung.
Hi.
Do you follow the political activity of Péter Magyar, and have you ever considered meeting him?
Sure. I mean, as the United States ambassador, I'm open to meeting virtually all opposition and government officials in an effort to better understand each other. It's been interesting to watch Hungary's democratic landscape become more competitive over the last period of time. That's something that has obviously caught Hungarians' attention and certainly has caught ours. And I think that's all I have to say. I'd be interested in learning more.
And Magyar Narancs.
Do you have any means to persuade Hungarian government to help these refugee people more effectively? I mean, I was among the first to answer the refugee crisis in 1989 as a member of Red Cross Foreign Affairs Department, and I see a significant difference. And they were more. The Hungarian government then was more generous than this Hungarian government, significantly. Do you have any means to persuade them to be at least that generous?
Well, look, I think that this is not a political issue. This is about people. It's about very real people and their lives and their families, some of whom may be standing behind me right now. And as I began this discussion, there is no ambiguity in the United States' commitment to supporting those who are fleeing war, including those who are fleeing war in Ukraine. And we certainly will work with our partners and our allies, including the government of Hungary, in trying to support their efforts to do the same, as we have already done by investing a significant amount of money in terms of the refugee response in Hungary.
And for just one last question from Euronews here.
I want to just ask about these people. Can you give them some help, especially for them?
Well, you know, the reason why I'm here is to focus and to learn what their situation is. It's something that is obviously urgent and needs attention. And so I'm hopeful that this will be addressed soon.